Alright, this video is going to show you how to request oral translation services. Now, oral translation services means that you need a person to be a third party in a conversation between yourself or a teacher or other school staff and a family or parent who speaks another language. So we don't request translators to make calls on our behalf or go on a home visit on our behalf or host a family night on our behalf. Rather, they are there really as just the intermediary between the school or the school staff and the family. They serve as a third and neutral party. So they will not speak for you. They will speak on your behalf, but not make phone calls or visits in place of you. All right, so to make those requests, you're going to go to the district website, click Staff Portal, and click Interpreting and Translation Services. If you've not yet logged in to the Fayette County website, you may be prompted here to do so. And you will simply enter your Fayette County email address and then your Fayette County password. And at that point, you'll be able to access the staff side or the staff portal on the Fayette County website. Once you are to the interpreting and translation services, you're going to schedule an in-house interpreter or book a translator. So click there and it will go to this platform. You will then click submit a request and you'll be prompted to read through these instructions. So on-site or in-person translating. So for a parent engagement night or a parent-teacher conference, for example, that works. They can come to your school, but it has to be booked in advance, and they will bill for at least an hour, even if they're only there for 20 minutes. They can also provide virtual or remote translating, which means if you schedule a Zoom parent-teacher conference, they can join the Zoom and they'll serve as the party that helps just translate between school staff and the family. And then phone calls they can also do, but again, remember, they're not going to make the phone call for you. They're going to make the phone call with you. And this also has a minimum of 5 minutes. So even if the phone call, let's say no one picks up, so it's less than 30 seconds, they're going to charge for 5 minutes. All right. So to request services, you're going to click Interpreter Request. You're going to select your school. For me, it would be district. And then you're going to select the language that you need. If you're having a family night and you need several languages represented, you are going to have to do a request for each of those languages. So let's say we need Arabic, but we're also going to need Spanish and Bengali. We will have to do another request for Spanish and a third request for Bengali. The reason? So let's see, what are we going to do? It's a family night. A student name. This service needs to be attached to a student. So you would select one of your Arabic speaking students that it plans to attend this event so that the service is in fact connected to a student. That does not mean that the translator can only translate for that student and his or her family. It simply means that we're attaching this service to one of your Arabic-speaking families. So this would be a family that you've already gotten confirmation they plan to attend your family night. Then you're going to put the request date. That's the date of the meeting. So today's September 20th. You cannot request an interpreter for today, but let's say it's the Thursday after fall break, October 10th. Request time. You are going to select what time you want the interpreter on site. So if the event starts at 6:30 p.m., you're going to select that. And then end time, if it ends at, let's say, 8, make sure to click p.m. And now you have your time requested. Location, you're going to specify further. So up here, you may have picked your school. Down here, you're going to say where this is. So we're going to say cafeteria and library. Address, this is only if you're asking them to translate at an event other than on your school campus. So some schools will have family nights at an apartment complex. That's where you would put the apartment complex name and address. Any comments here? So for example, if the event is at an apartment complex, you're going to explain that here. If the event is a family literacy night at I'm making up a apartment complex, you would put that there. Any comments that you would put in private comments would not be passed along to the interpreter. I'm not sure the purpose of that. If you need help getting your event set up, you would click yes. Typically with a family night, there's other school staff setting up. So the interpreter would arrive by 6:30 p.m. And then you're going to say, is this on site? I want them there. Or is this like a remote, a virtual family night? Or is this a phone call? You would select that there and then click submit. I'm going to click cancel request because I don't want to really submit that. Then you can check on the status of your oral interpretation request here. I've not made any, but had I made oral interpretation requests in the past, they would all be listed here and you would be able to check on the status of it. Any issues or questions regarding interpreting services should be directed to Jessica Sanchez here in our district office. She's super helpful and would be able to help you. The biggest takeaway from this that I want you to know is that this is not an immediate service. For immediate language translation services, you would use the language line, which is 1-866-874-3972. And then once prompted to enter a client ID, you would enter Fayette County's ID, 548132, and then follow the information for selecting a language. So then once the interpreter's connected, you can use them to either make a three-way phone call to home, or use them in the office on speakerphone if you're having a session with a family that you can't communicate with due to language barriers. They will do that. Another thing to keep in mind when interpreters are involved, that it doubles the amount of time it takes to communicate, because everything you say, you're going to then pause and allow them to translate in the required language for the family. And then if the family has a question, the interpreter then has to translate it back to you. So it adds time to any communication. So just be prepared and cognizant for that. All right, that's all about oral interpretation services. I hope that's helpful for you.